Hello, and welcome to Successful Goal Setting, a Discover Your Greatest Self lifestyle recovery program. I am your host, Dr. Jasmine Blake Hollywood, a passionate advocate for health and well being. With a background in clinical nutrition and personal experience with lifestyle recovery, I bring a wealth of knowledge to our conversations. For more information on my credentials, please visit www.truepaleoinc.org. So let's begin with defining successful goal setting. It is the involvement of the development of an action plan designed in order to motivate and guide a person toward a goal. Goals are more deliberate than desires that we fantasize about or financial intentions. Therefore, setting goals means that a person has committed thought, emotion, and behavior towards obtaining the goal. In this module, we're going to learn successful goal setting for strategic life planning. So, first, we'll start with Locke's goal setting theory. And what actually is this theory? Well, it's the link between five clear principles of goals and the performance against that goal to have the outcome of the successful goal. So, there are a number of proven advantages to this approach. One is motivation for the goal setter is increased, and two, it improves results if the principles are used. Three, the person's well being is taken into account. And four, clarity of the goal means that there is less confusion when the goal is being judged. And so Locke's theory starts with clarity at the top, and it goes into challenging, commitment, feedback, and task complexity. And these are the basics of goal setting principles. So during his work and the subsequent research that was built on it, results observed were better for individuals if their goals were adhered to from the following five rules. Clarity. So, most importantly, goals must be clear. It does not matter what the goal is. If you're buying property to build, or if you're creating a business, or if you're maybe trying to clean up your act, your life, maybe you were, in a situation where things didn't pan out well. Whatever it is, the goal must be clear and it must be specific. Second, the goal should be challenging enough to be motivating, but without being unrealistic. So we want to make sure we're not fantasizing when we are creating goals, is what we're saying here. We want them to be realistic. So, not so challenging that when we go to actually try to complete the goal, it's not attainable. Next is commitment. All individuals must be committed to the goal that is happening. So if you really want it, but you don't want to be committed to getting it, then you shouldn't seek it. And a really great example of this would be somebody who wants to lose weight, but they're not willing to do what it takes to lose that weight, right? So they have an unrealistic goal and they're not committed, although the goal is clear. And of course, feedback on the goal should always be considered. You want to maybe discuss your goals with other people and see what they have to say, because they may see things in a different perspective. And so, understanding what other people may see may help you understand if this is a goal you should be seeking or not. And of course, the last one is complexity. Goals must be achievable and not overwhelming. Say the goal is realistic and it's challenging enough to be motivated to do it. But if you can't achieve it because doing it is so overwhelming, then you probably shouldn't try to set that goal. Setting clear goals. So, this is your journey to personal triumph, right? Like you want your goal to be completed. And so it's important that this goal is so clear that you know what it is, how it's measured, and when it's going to be achieved. If you're vague in describing your goal, then it will be difficult to understand. And if and when the goal is actually achieved. So this can lower your motivation. And there are some principles that you can follow to ensure the clear goal. So first, you can use a vision board of some sort. Many people do this, and you can also refer to the SMART principle of goal setting. This has now been established for many years and is proven to work. So it's a good strategy to use. And third, if you're working in a team, don't be afraid to ask questions. If people are unclear, you want to make sure that they are clear. So let's talk a little bit about a vision board and what its uses are. So, a vision board is a very valuable and powerful tool that can help you create your dream life. No matter what is happening in the world around you, vision boards really help you keep on top of your goals. And so you can stay on track because you have this vision laid out on a map in front of you. And so you can make persistent progress towards this dream or towards this goal. And like I said before, it doesn't matter if you buying land to build or if you are creating a business or if you are cleaning up your life, you can use all kinds of things on your vision board to help you. You can use pictures, magazine clippings, words, quotes, drawings, anything that visually affirms your goals. And you can put them together and kind of map it out basically. So, by creating this visual representation of your dream or your goal and putting it somewhere where you can see it every day, can make it easier for yourself to remember your goals and prioritize your actions accordingly. And here's just like what I wish I could do. This is like a quick vision board that you can print out or keep in your office or even add to a vision board if you already have it. I think it's kind of cute. So, you could just use this and fill in the blanks of your thoughts or little photos of things that you envision. So, let's talk about challenging goals. It's been proven in research that if you make sure your goals are both achievable but challenging, it will increase motivation. Having motivation can create a good feeling when you hit the goals that you've set. So consider the following to help get you to the point of a challenging goal. Is it a smart goal? Is it ambitious enough? And what will the reward be when it is hit? So, SMART goals, in case you are not familiar with what it is the first step to really making sure each goal is specific. Goals should be measurable. So, there is a tangible evidence that you have that you've accomplished the goal. The goals should be achievable. They should stretch you slightly so you feel challenged, but not enough to where you cannot achieve them. And you want to make sure that that goal is relevant and that there is a time frame on it that you can achieve. So that needs to be time bound. And here is a quick infographic on SMART goal setting. It just shows you what the 5 highlights are for a challenging yet attainable goal. And this is downloadable in the resources tab. Here is a blank one that you can use on your own to start off with goals. You know, listing the specific one. Is it measurable? Is it attainable, relevant? And what time do you really think that you're going to have this goal achieved by? So, we really, really want to secure the commitment to our goals. This is so important because if you don't have commitment, you're highly likely not to hit your potential or achieve the goal that you seek. However, structuring and tracking the goal properly will help it become easier to commit. So, here are some key principles to consider. Communicate why this goal is important. Make sure you believe it's possible to even hit the goal, right? Because if you don't believe it's possible, then you're never going to get there. Also, include other people in the goal development process. Include them in both the structuring and the tracking. If they are to help attain the goal, then that's fine as well. But make them feel like it's almost like their own goal so that they give you the right advice you need to help you achieve it. And the last thing is ensuring the strategies and rewards of the goal are understood. If others are included in your goal planning process, ensure the bigger plan is understood for overall goal success. So I've created this handout. This is called the Grow Model. This was coined back some time ago, just like the SMART goals infographic. And what this is it's a 4-step goal development process that you can use to help you implement goals. And you really use it to grow, right? Um, what do you want to achieve? Why is it important? What is the goal? That's the G. What are you now, or where are you now in relationship to the goal? What is the current reality? That's the R. Like, is this realistic? What are the available options and what could you really do? That's the O. And what is the overall plan? What will you do to achieve this goal and when will you do it? That is the will. So, and that is the way forward. And here it is again mapped out when you structure the goal setting process. So you kind of want to have the aim and the objective out, okay, defined here. And you want to assess and assume things to identify the reality of it. And then you want to really lay out the range and the obstacles that are involved so you understand your options, and of course the action and the milestones if this is something that you can do. So these are printable. You can download them on the resource page. But this is a good model to follow when you're structuring the goal setting process. So, again, in Locke's theory, we want to talk about getting feedback on the goals. What do you think? And so this principle touches on the commitment and challenging principles of goal creation, and that you need to listen to feedback and replan your goals accordingly. And we're not talking about getting feedback from people who don't believe in your goal. We're talking about feedback from your supporters, right? So you want to get valuable insight into the current goal or well-being of your team if it's a team goal, and their take on future success, right? If it's your spouse or your parent or a really good friend, you want to make them feel included. Consider the following: include time in your plans to work through the goals with others. Review your previous progress and ask for their feedback. Capture the feedback in a structured way. And if goal setting is a bad response, like if everyone is saying, just don't do it, or you're seeing that, it's not timely, it's not relevant, all these things are being considered, and you're seeing that maybe this isn't going to work out. It's not that maybe you can't achieve that goal, but maybe you want to consider breaking it down into smaller goals or restructuring the goal through a mind mapping alternative to achieve it accordingly. And so that's when we would use something like a progress roadmap, right? When we map it out. And so here's a really quick roadmap of how you're progressing through the goal, right? And this is completely downloadable. You can, it's free, everything is free. You can just download it on the resources tab on the website. Um, but, just go through. It's your passion, right? What's your plan? Perspective, prepare, practice, perform, propose. These are the 7 P's of progress. And so you want to really use this resource to map out what's going on when you're getting the feedback. And maybe even if you're not getting feedback, maybe this can be feedback for yourself. And then, of course, balancing task complexity, overwhelming goals. I mean, really, this happens all the time. Oh, this is so overwhelming. I can't handle it. We all create what I call fantasizing goals. We fantasize, we want something, and then we can't handle it. And so this will only reduce your performance and the outcomes if you do not think about it in a realistic point of view. Therefore, you should consider handling of different goals to get the best outcome. Okay, so the goals need the right amount of time to be hit. You need to use mind mapping to break larger goals down into smaller, more tangible, and manageable targets. You want to track via progress reports, statistics, and catch ups if they're very, you know, um, very hideous or tedious goals, and you want to use a good support system like coaches or mentors. So I have used the term mind mapping quite a bit now in this, even when speaking about the progress roadmap. So let's look at unlocking the brain's capacity to succeed. Now, a mind map is an easy way to brainstorm thoughts organically without worrying about order and structure. It allows you to visually structure your ideas into achievable goals to help with analysis and recall. A mind map is a diagram for representing tasks, words, concepts, or items linked to and arranged around a central concept or goal, thereby using a non-linear graphical layout that allows the user to rebuild an intuitive framework around a goal or desired outcome. The mind map is a highly effective way of getting information in and out of your brain, basically. It is both creative and logical in means of note taking and note making that literally maps out your ideas. So we have some mind mapping um, handouts here. And this one's called The Magic of Sparking Creativity. Okay, and so each thing is lined up with another: inspiration and motivation, vision and innovation, idea and imagination, brainstorming and knowledge. These are the concepts that we're looking at when we are mind mapping. And so it really does make it easier to retain information. It helps people learn new concepts. It makes learning more engaging. It breaks down complex relationships, improves your creativity, increases productivity, and helps facilitate problem solving. The sequential structure of mind maps literally helps your brain retain the information and memorize it quickly. It helps connect and facilitate meaningful learning. It creates deep interactions with the content, making the learning process more engaging. It organizes ideas into easy to follow structures that allow you to simplify complex relationships. Basically, by using creative freedom to organize your mind map, you can gain a more holistic understanding of how everything really connects. Mind maps aren't just pretty little things that you draw out, they're effective too. And these diagrams improve your efficiency by speeding up comprehension and allowing you to jump quickly to different applications. And so, whether used in daily life or professional contexts, mind maps allow you to diagram an issue and think critically to find new solutions to your goals. But there are complications to goal setting. Success does have enemies, okay? And so we want to understand that when you are achieving goals and people see you climbing to the top, that can attract enemies or adversaries due to a variety of factors. And so, as you become smarter and clearer in what your purpose is while you're setting your goals, you will attain these adversaries easier than you were doing it before. And the number one thing here is jealousy. When you start becoming successful because you're mapping out your goals promptly, that success can trigger feelings of jealousy in other people who may not be able to do that, right? They may compare themselves to you, the successful individual, and this can really lead to resentment and animosity. Also, competition. Success can create a sense of competition among your peers or your rivals. And so they may see you, the successful individual, as a threat to their own success or recognition, thinking that maybe you're going to take them out or take their place. Um, Also, insecurity. A lot of individuals may feel insecure about their own abilities to achieve goals. So, when they see you experiencing success, it can lead to negative attitudes and behaviors towards you. So, a lot of times this happens because you are so great at change, the other person actually fears change. And so, in order to be successful, you have to grow, you have to change, right? You have to be open minded. And this can be unsettling for some people because some people never want to make a change. They just want everything to be the same all the time. And so they may resist or oppose the changes that you are doing. They may not be supportive of your goals. And this can lead to conflicts and opposition. Unfortunately, goal success does attract these adversaries and they will seek to undermine you. So, as you excel in fulfilling your purpose, underlying forces will attempt to bring you down. And this needs to be understood. So, we're talking about onlookers who are snakes, okay? People who have rarely tasted success and will always be present, ready to strike when they perceive you as vulnerable. We're talking about critics and naysayers who will habitually express negative or pessimistic opinions or objections over your triumphs. You need to be careful when you are getting a lot of negative or pessimistic opinions or objections from people. Those are going to be the people you do not want to be around. Also, we're talking about quitters, and quitters are never equal to an overachiever. Okay, and then of course we have the haters, and they will often mistreat you with insults and drama and derogatory comments. So be careful when you become successful in your endeavors. So, what are some ways to achieve success? Time management is one of them. You want to prioritize your goals based on their urgency and importance, and allocate dedicated time blocks to complete them. Self discipline and focus. You want to eliminate distractions such as social media and excessive multitasking and dedicate your time and energy to the tasks that matter most. Positive relationships. You want to surround yourself with supportive and like minded individuals who inspire and motivate you to complete your goals. Collaborate with others, share ideas, and leverage collective wisdom. Positive mindset. Do not allow anyone or their opinions to interfere with your goal success. Use positive affirmations and express daily gratitude. Always be thankful. So here's a worksheet that I like to call the Tree of Life. This is a great one to use when building upon your goals. What do you want to see come to life? You can list those things here, and this is completely downloadable on the website under the resources tab. And finally, we have the goals map here. This is a really good worksheet that people love. It just like reminds you of, performing and processes and outcomes. It helps you write down some long term goals and short term goals. It reminds you of all of the things we went over: the vision board, the SMART goals, the GROW model, the progress roadmap, and the mind mapping and the tree of life, and how you can use these things to complete these goals. And of course, you can set daily goals, short term goals, long term goals, or even 5-year goals. Hopefully, your performativity is certain. Actions or statements in goal setting not only describe reality, but also have the power to really create the reality that they describe. And, are your processes related to assessment, planning, and strategizing your life goals and what the person should be focusing on? And are the outcomes related to variables depending on the individual circumstances and objectives? So remember, goals are designed to help you get from where you are today to where you want to be tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Dr. Hollywood. I am the expert you can trust, and we want to thank you for your interest in using our self directed Discover Your Greatest Self programs for your lifestyle and nutritional needs.